Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we have a Line 6 Helix tutorial for you on how to create John Mayer's Last Train Home Ballad version tones. Before we get into that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, it helps it to grow. And I also left some affiliate links down below for you just to help the channel a little bit. This is my second time going through the Line 6 products. About 2 years ago, I owned an HX Stomp. I do have some presets for those available to you, but I'm just going to kind of revamp all of them because I feel like my ears have changed a little bit since then and want to kind of update everything. So I'll let you know when that happens. So today for the tutorial, I'm going to be using my Michael SX Custom. These have Lindy Fralin pickups. We have two vintage hots, which aren't really hot pickups, are around 6K. And then we have a blues special right here. We're gonna stick with the 4 position using these two guys, okay? So a little backstory with this song and the gear that he uses. Obviously Silver Sky into his pedal board, but the amps that he used a Princeton and he used a PRS Custom 20. Today we are going to deviate just a little bit from that just because I like the tones coming from this particular amp that I have chose here today. So let's go ahead and take a look at the signal chain in HX Edit. We're going to go through everything, all the tweaks that I made, and try to follow along as best you can. So we got compressor, we got 2 overdrives, and those are going to be stacked the whole time. We got a chorus. And then this volume block right here is just so I can use the expression pedal just to kill the volume or dial it back if I need to. The amp we're using today is the US Deluxe on the normal setting. And then we have 2 cabs running. We have the 1x12 US Deluxe, the Cali Extended cab, which has the EV, which we know John uses, a stereo tape delay, set kind of low, just so when you stop playing you hear a couple repeats going. And then we have a room mic, not a room mic, a room reverb going and a kind of larger hall reverb going. At the end you see a gain block, and that's just to dial some clipping back if need be, but for the intro I did not have that engaged. So let's go ahead, we're going to make sure everything is turned off except for the amp, and we're going to keep the reverbs on, and that's about it. Now, the room reverb is kind of a trick that I learned from using the Fractal FM3 for a full year. Still have it, still love it, but I wanted to bring all that knowledge over here. So in the Fractal, I use room mic IRs quite a bit. Paired with just a regular IR. I just feel like it's kind of the glue for a mix. So here today I use a lot of early reflections in the cabs, but also this dynamic room reverb just to add a little ambience. So here's what I got for just the basic clean signal. Alright, so there's a clean signal, and let's go ahead and throw on the compressor. So I'm just using the Deluxe comp just to take a little bit of the peaks away. It's not really adding much signal going into everything else, but just a tiny bit. Now, to me, it sounds a little bit trebly, but once everything is added in, like especially the chorus and the overdrives, I think it really lends itself to a nice, warm sound. Definitely for the intro clips that I played, I had the tone knob dialed back just a little bit to around 9, 8 or 9. So let's go ahead, add the overdrives next. So we have, here, let's turn this off. We have the Minotaur, the Klon. Here are the settings for that. Just very subtle. And then obviously the Tube Screamer. So let's go ahead and play a little bit of that. So stacked together, I think they give it a nice amount of sustain. Here are the settings for the 70s chorus. When John uses it, he has everything about a third of the way up on the rate and the mix and the depth. So that's kind of where we have it today-ish. I think I gave it a little bit more mix. Let's go ahead and turn that on. Let's also go ahead and turn on the tape delay. Not much added there. So very minimal repeats, just so you get a little bit of ambience, but everything together, and then we'll talk about the amp. All right, so there's the overall tone. Let's go to the amp block really quick, and then we'll look at the reverb. So I used the US Deluxe Normal. Again, he used the Princeton mainly. Here are my settings. Kind of tried to make it nice and warm as much as I could. Turn the sag up a little bit, and I think I brought the presence back and the channel volume back a little bit. But that's mainly it for the amp block. For the cabs, here's the first cab that I use. Threw on the 7 dynamic based on the SM7 from Shure. Did some low cuts and high cuts, and then talked about doing some early reflections just to get a little bit more ambience going. And then the second cab is the 1x12 Cali with the EV in it. So again, some low cuts. Could even do some more high cuts if you wanted. I like to take anything out that's above either 6K or 7K. And then again, some more room reflections going on. Here are my settings for the tape delay. Again, set really low to quarter notes, barely audible. Brought the wow flutter back because I don't want to really have too much of that movement. I want the modulation to do most of that. And then here's the room mic, or sorry, the room reverb. Really all I did was adjusted the pre-delay, the decay, and the diffusion and the mix, and that's about it. But if you want to copy these settings, you can. Set to stereo, and then we have the dynamic hall. Try to give it between like a 2.5-ish second decay, and then adjusted the mix accordingly, and that's really about it. Didn't do much with any of the EQs on that, but hope that you enjoyed the video. I'll try to do a lot more of these type of tutorials in the future. I have a plan to do one for the John Mayer Qtron settings, Roger Lynn Adrenaline pedal settings later on, but I hope you enjoyed it, and in the comment section below, let me know if there's any other videos you would like to see in the future. Take care.